Well, good afternoon, guys. Hope you're doing well. If you're online, can you hear me? All right. So, is it possible, if possible, go ahead and turn your cameras on as we have more students online than face to face? Of course, you don't have to, but anyway, today we're going to start, go to the science test. Science basically, um, I want to kind of talk about just a quick reminder about the process we have used so far to the selection of the passages. So remember, the test has gone from 7 passages to 6 passages. Sorry, 6 passages to 7 passages. You have more time than ever before. So, and out of the 40 questions you're gonna do for 40 minutes, you're only graded 34 questions. So that throws a whole lot of a curveball. Um, the biggest change in strategy, we used to ask you guys to directly go to the question number one of the passage. To some degree, it is still true if there's too much reading to be done. If the reading amount is less, we have changed our strategy for you to read the passage because you have time. I repeat, in the past, we directly went to question number one of that passage because of the lack of time. Now, if you have less time, if you have less reading to do in a passage, and today you will see that, you can read the passage and then go to the questions. It used to be 52.5 seconds per question. Now it is full minute per question. So you have a lot of time. That doesn't mean that you have to drag it all the way to the end. Still want you to be very focused on the time. It still goes fast. The biggest thing is do not get stuck on a single question. Circle it and move on because out of this 40, only 34 are graded. So those 6 can be one of those ungraded sections. So you really have to analyze your strategy of how you're going to take the science test. Any pre-knowledge question can be thrown out. I heard this is what happened in the September test. The pre-knowledge questions seem to have been thrown out, and that is the ungraded section. Okay, so again, the big strategy change is if the reading material is less, read the passage. That being said, please open this book, everybody, and please open page number 76, everybody. Just do a quick thumbs up when you're ready. All right, let's go. So remember one thing, last time when we did the science, we have selected the passages. Do you, at the top of the page 76, we wrote the first two passages you would have done, right? What are the two we wrote?
5 and 6.
I have 5 and 6 as well. I think we all decided that. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna do only one passage at a time. Again, just to get the juices flowing. I'll keep the stopwatch on here on this iPad, but this is just to get an idea today. You don't have to worry about time today. Your job is to get the questions right. After each passage, I'm going to read out the answers, and if you have any questions, I'm going to work on that one the following time. Are we ready? Okay. We're going to start with passage 5, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So typically, you should take 5 minutes.
Two.
Of course, usually the first passages, they'll usually take less than that. So, again, time is less. After 18 years, I am kind of relieved on that one. So, are you guys ready? Okay, passage number 5, only one passage. Your time starts now. Read the passage. Don't get stuck up on one question. You can come back to that later. Once you're done, just unmute and tell me your name. Again, if you're done, unmute and tell me your name so I have an idea.
Ashwin. Hudson. Naomi. Griffin.
right, I'm going to stop you guys at 5 minutes. That's 5 questions, 5 minutes. I'm going to read out the answers. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay? We're going to keep it simple and keep it moving. 24 to 28. Okay? JBJ. DG. I repeat, JBJDG. I also want you to keep a track of how many got correct at the bottom of the page, so we'll be counting at the end. So, any questions?
I got a question on number 25.
Okay, I'm going to circle that.
I have one on 26.
26? 27? So I have 25, 26, 27. Any other questions? All right, let's go to passage 6, which is your number 2 passage, selection-wise. It has 6 questions, so I'm going to give you up to 6 minutes. So, again, you decide whether you want to directly go to the question or to read the passage. That judgment has to be made by you guys. But again, if it's less, definitely read the passage, because now you have additional 5 minutes, which is crucial 5 minutes. All right, here you go. So your time starts now.
Hudson. Ashwin.
Naomi.
Griffin.
Anybody left still? Okay.
Just happy.
Okay. It's almost 6 minutes, so let's stop here. All right, so let's go to the 25, 26, 27 you guys had asked. So again, who had asked should respond when I explain it. So I want to be confident that you have understood my explanation. Okay. 25. Consider the two trends shown for alloy Q. Initially, the temperature is 280 and 550 from F is equal to 40 times 10 raised to 7 through F is equal to 48 times 10 raised to 7. So 40 to 48. If these lines were to continue along the same trend, at which of the following values of F would the average crystal length would likely be the same? This is a typical ACT science question. You are expected to do extrapolations. So what I did was simple. I want to show it here. I just took this line, drew a straight dotted line, took this straight line, drew a dotted line. So wherever they met here, I just drew a vertical line bottom to the x-axis. So the distance between 40 and 50 and then 50 and this dotted line here seems to be the same. So I predicted it's around 60 times 10 raised to 7. Extrapolation is a requirement for ACT science. You will get a lot more questions on this now than ever before. Again, I don't know who asked, so please respond.
I asked for 25. Yeah, I understand it.
Ashwin, what was your answer?
I said it was A.
Okay, for A, but at 48 and at 48 they were already far apart, right? So
Yeah.
50 would be just right there and they won't meet. So if you keep extrapolating, you'll have to actually physically draw it. That's why another advantage taking the paper-based test is you could do the dotted line. If it's an online, it kind of will be hard. You have to do some judgment. But yeah, extrapolation is a requirement.
Thank you.
I hope again, if you're not confident, I can come up with other methods to explain, but this is really, really important. Remember, only 34 are graded. So every question carries more than a point because it's 36. So it's 1.06 points per question. So in the past, it was less because there are 40 questions, 36. So it was 0.9 points per question. So it's very easy to lose that good score in this new thing, okay, even though you have more time. 26, based on figure 1, so clear thing, I want to repeat this. Now, as you guys ask this question, I want to talk about strategy as well. If they say based on figure one, answer is only going to be in figure one. Nowhere else. If you try to look for anything else, you are getting distracted. If they say table one, go to table one. If you go figure one, stay to figure one. If they say table one and figure one, that means it's a combination, so you have to find information in both. Don't overthink and make silly mistakes. Oh my God, it has to be somewhere else. No, you don't. That's why they're telling you that. Based on figure one, which of the following combination of values of initial temperature and F would produce the shortest average crystal length in an ingot of alloy Q? The smallest L would be produced with a temperature of. Well, looking at the graph, I knocked off the 280 ones because it's on the higher x-axis, sorry, higher y-axis. So I was only focused on the dotted line on the 551. Then I circled those 2 points at 10 times 10 raised to 7 and 50 times 10 raised to 7. Sorry, 40 times 10 raised to 7. And I see that 40 times 10 raised to 7 has a lower length if I draw the horizontal line. So if I draw the horizontal line, you'll see this one is a little bit lower than the 10 one. Who asked the question?
That was me. I thought that you said something else, but I actually did get that one right.
Okay, all right. Make sure that you guys keep writing down the number of correct for each passage. I really need to know. Okay. All right, 27. The following table lists the mass of silicon in 50 grams sample of 4 different alloys, one of which is alloy Q. Now in table 1, it says percent by mass in alloy Q. So if you have 100 grams of the alloy, silicon is 10.8 grams for every 100. Now it's 50 grams, so it's divided by 2. So 10.8 divided by 2 is 5.4. Again, I don't know who asked. Does it make sense? Makes sense? Okay. Percent, when they say percent by mass, percent means always for 100. All right, let's move on to passage 6, the number 2. You guys, I'm going to read out the answers. Make sure you guys read carefully. 29 to 34, okay? DJC. JDF. I repeat, DJC, JDF. Questions?
I have a question for 31.
31, okay.
And I have one on 33.
And 33 is D, right, Hudson? I just want to make sure you heard that correctly. Right? 33?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. But yeah.
Okay. 31, 33. All right.
Can I also ask about 32 and 34?
32 and 34. Okay. 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay. All right. Now, we did the first two, what we had selected. What are the next two we had selected?
Four and 1.
4 and... No, I had 4 and 3. Can you double check that? I just want to make sure I wrote it correctly. What is the order we decided, guys? So I want to stick to that one.
I wrote down 4 and 1.
Anybody can verify that?
I had 4 and 1 too.
Okay, then we write 4 and 1. So I want to make sure I maybe I wrote it wrong. So hold on. I could write 4 and... Sorry about that. So let's go to passage 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 6 questions. It'll be 6 minutes. Excuse me. Your time starts now. 6 minutes.
Joshua.
Griffin.
Naomi.
Giuseppe.
No? You don't have to be. You sure? Okay. Well, I hope you guys are getting an idea of the time you're taking per passage. And again, if you're taking less than a minute per question, you'll have more time left at the end, and that's what you need, especially for the last passage, which is the conflicting viewpoint. It is really important for you to have that advantage. So, not that you should rush now. Time is almost out of the contention with the new science test or the new format. So that doesn't mean you should, of course, splurge too much and waste your time. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the questions you guys asked. So who asked 31? I want to go that route so that I can talk to the student directly.
I did.
Okay. Ashwin, what was your answer?
I said D. I honestly didn't understand what the question was asking, so at that point I just I was taking too much time, so I guessed on it.
Okay. I want to give a hint on a question that has yes and no, like this one.
Okay.
The hint is do not read the reason of the answer choices. Just decide whether it's yes or no. For example, is the statement CM2 absorbed a greater percentage of the DOC in the maple leachate than CM3? So the question is that statement true or false? Well, study 2 is CM2 for maple is around less than 10%. For CM3 it is around 35%. So the answer is no. Then you can knock out A and B. You're left with C and D. Look at the difference between C and D. It says 7% versus 17%. Well, it is not 17% because it's not crossing that 10% line for the CM2.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
That I would call definitely an easy question, and that will hurt a lot more because they equate each question to a certain difficulty level. Easier it is, more negative fudge points they will have. That means if you make a mistake, it's gonna really hurt you. Okay? Okay.
I got it.
Who asked 32?
I did. I just realized that I didn't read close enough and I said oak lychee instead of in general.
Yeah. And it says more than 50%. For example, CM3 has exactly 50%, but not more than 50%. Okay. Again, these are the easy questions that might hurt a little bit more than you anticipate. 33. Again, I don't want to waste time, guys, so I don't keep it moving. So who asked so I can keep it moving?
I think I asked.
Okay, so 33. Hudson, what was your answer?
Wait, I need to look. 33, I'm pretty sure I got C.
Okay, so it says is a mixture of any one of the leachates and any one of the clay materials properly considered a solution. Well, you may say it's a prior knowledge, but no, that's a basic question. Solution means they're mixed well. And in the paragraph 1 and in paragraph 3, they made it clear it's not. I'll read a statement in paragraph 1. It says, DOC is subsequently removed from the water if it is absorbed by the clay mineral particles that are suspended in water. That's one suspension, right? Hint. And then study 1, they have mentioned the mixture was stirred continuously for 2 hours. The solution you don't have to stir because they mix well. So this is a heterogeneous mixture. Of course, I have the little advantage of teaching chemistry for a long time. But you cannot say this was a prior knowledge. They didn't mention about solution. It's a middle school question: solutions versus suspension.
Oh, okay. I don't think I thought about it enough. I was probably rushing.
Yep. Again, this time is not an issue. Now you should take more time to ensure that, because one question you make a mistake, especially the easy one, it will hurt you guys a lot more than before. 34.
I asked this one. I just didn't understand it in general.
Okay. In lake water, DOC is broken down into simpler compounds by electromagnetic energy in the visible wavelength range. What action was taken in the studies to prevent this process from occurring? So they are saying if it was done in bright light, there will be as the sun rays would break it down. How did they prevent this? It says in paragraph number 2 in the middle. It says 100-gram sample of the leaves was mixed with 1 liter volume of the filtered lake water. So leaves and lake water was mixed. The mixture was then placed in the dark for 10 weeks. So they kept it in the dark so that there's no light radiation that can do a breakdown of the compounds.
Okay, so the answer was just in the text. Right.
Yes, almost all of it. Again, I'm coming as I mentioned before. My son took the September ACT, and of course his test was different than the others, and he said that majority of the questions were direct and simple, except some really silly question that was like, for example, shrimp is a vertebrae or invertebrate, and there was no information on that one. So again, you have time now, Giuseppe. So you have to make the most out of it. Sounds good?
All right.
Okay. Now I'm gonna, Macy, I know you're joining now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so open this book and please open page 84. The students have already finished 2 passages in science. They already did the 3rd one as well. So I'm reading the 3rd one answers, okay? Not 84, sorry. 82, I guess. Okay. All right, here you go. I'm reading from 18 to 23. FDF. CJC. I repeat, FDF, CJC. Questions?
Can I ask about 21?
Hold on. Let me write 20. Okay.
I got a question on number 19.
I have 19 and 21 so far. Okay. Moving on to passage number 1, which is our 4th passage, has 5 questions, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Again, remember, these are just rough estimate. As you guys have saved time on other passages, you can take more, but just for as a class, I'm going to give it as just a reference point, okay? Passage 1, 5 questions, 5 minutes. Your time starts now. Read completely and correctly. Don't rush.
Ashwin.
Naomi.
Hudson.
Ribbon.
Macy.
Seppi.
Okay. Looks like you guys seems like that was the easier one. All right, let's go to 19 and 21, please. Who asked 19?
I did.
Ashwin, so what was your answer?
I said 2 minutes.
How did you get to that one? I'm just curious because, again, I thought this question was an easy one because it says 5 milligram per gram tomato and 6 milligram, between 5 and 6, and sample 3 and 4 are the only ones that can do that. And sample 3 and 4 have an incubation time between 15 and 30 minutes. So it has to be more than 15 minutes to get to that.
Oh, that, yeah. I didn't look at the sample one. I didn't look at the incubation time. That was probably why.
Okay. 21. Who has 21?
I did.
Okay. Well, again, this is like a borderline question about that you are supposed to know that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And in experiment 1, first top paragraph, it says the bags containing samples 2 to 4 were each incubated at a water bath 88 degrees Celsius. So it did not cross the 100 degrees Celsius for it to boil. So the answer is no, the incubation temperature was less than the boiling point of water. Now, Giuseppe, did you know the water boiling point is 100 degrees at 180 m?
Yeah, I think the main reason is that I didn't hide the explanations. I don't even know why I got the wrong answer, but I know the way to get the right answer. I guess I just had a brain fart midway.
All right, man. All right. Okay, let's go to passage 1. Looks like you guys did it in a very quick time. 1 to 5. Ready? AFD. HD. I repeat. AFD. HD. Questions? Thought so. What I would like to do is, we have done 4 passages so far. I would like you to count and tell me how many you got correct so far. So we have done 5 plus 6, 11, 16, 22 so far. So out of 22, how many correct you have? 21? Ashwin?
I got 20.
Giuseppe?
I think 15.
Griffin?
19.
Hudson?
19.
Naomi?
20.
Okay. Make sure you do the others which you missed today, okay? All right. Now, again, it's a significant thing. Now, please also remember a couple things I want to talk about is science is optional and it does not add to your composite score, right? So it's English plus math plus reading divided by 3. Science is optional. So, how many of you are for sure taking the science test because that's needed for a major? And I've seen a lot of colleges talking about this, that not having a science score might hurt you. So, it's going to be an yes or no question. Ashwin, taking or not taking?
I'm taking.
Giuseppe,
I'm taking.
Griffin,
Taking.
Hudson,
Taking.
Macy,
I'm taking it.
Naomi.
I'm taking it.
Okay, so looks like all are. If I know it, even though it does not add to your composite, I really think having a solid science score is going to help you in pre-engineering, pre-med, pre-science major, pre-health major. So don't take it lightly. So I want to talk about my son's experience for the September test. So remember, out of the 40 questions, only 34 are graded. Okay? So the 6 are not graded. Out of 34, he got 1 wrong in science. So he had a 33 correct out of 34. And his ACT science score was a 36. He got a perfect score in science. The only reason I can think of is they thought the science was that particular curve helped him to push it to from a 35 to a 36 or something like that. Again, we do not know, but what I know is his test form, he got 1 wrong and he had a 36. But some people who had 2 or 3 wrong had a considerably lower score, so like a 31 or 32. So it depends on each test you take, which questions are graded and ungraded. What you have the advantage is the time. Time. And if you get all correct, doesn't matter whether it's ungraded or graded, unless it's the silly questions like what reproduction the fish undergoes for repair of its cells, which many people would not know, then it's a different story. Those are the ungraded questions. So I expect you guys to be nailing the science portion because of the time, until it's just is a crazy tough test. Sounds good? What I would like you to do is take a sticky, like a small piece of paper, and on page 76, put a sticky note, because we're gonna get back to it and complete the test later on. But do not take the test, or just put a page 76 sticky note. Yeah, Giuseppe, you have a question. Please ask question. Again, I want to share everything I know to help you guys.
If we were going through the test and we saw like one of the questions was talking about, like, for example, the reproduction of like a fish and it wasn't stated, what would you recommend that we do?
Answer. Do not leave blank, because a left blank, I believe, is automatically considered wrong and it won't help you. Make the best judgment out of the 4 answer choices. Like he removed out of the 4, he removed 2, and he was left with mitosis and meiosis. Again, he's making best judgment, and he went with meiosis, and the answer was meiosis. But I think that was thrown out because he did get 1 wrong, and I think we don't know again which one was it, but yeah. Do not leave any questions blank. Any other questions? Anything I can answer? This is so important. Time-wise, looking good, okay? I really think time-wise, I'm least worried. And I cannot believe I'm saying this after 18 years, because time was a huge issue for science, but I don't think so. Any other last thoughts and comments? Okay. I hope you guys are doing the homework. You can't skip homework. I can't emphasize enough, okay? See you next time, and hang tight. Aubrey will be doing the math. Math is going to be tough today, so get your calculators ready. See you guys. Bye-bye.